Aloha, beloveds. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today has been a very busy day for me. My name is Athena Rose, and I'm speaking to you from the Big Island of Hawaii. It's about 10 o'clock here on the Big Island, and I'm about to wind down for the day and hit the hay, as it were. And I want to speak to something that's been on my mind today, and it's a prompt that's come to my attention to consider and speak to. I'm planning on writing a blog post about it, but it's really about using our voice, and communicating our needs and communication, and I'm going to tie this into our health, So what I want to speak to is how we can be a voice and not an echo. How we can be a voice and not an echo. And being a voice and not an echo means being authentic to yourself, really speaking from your heart, speaking truth, whatever that may be for you, and not backing down, and really holding yourself accountable for saying what you mean to say, and not conforming to what others may be expecting you to say, but really saying no when you need to say no, and saying yes when it's a yes for you, and really claiming that. So yeah, this is important to me, and I recognize that as a woman, I haven't always felt safe to use my voice, and I think that's important to pay attention to, and also to honor, because there are many women in other parts of the world that do not have the freedom to use their voice, and would actually maybe even be harmed, physically harmed, for doing something that I'm doing right now, which is speaking on camera and then putting that out into the public to view. And I mean, it's crazy to think that in parts of the world, women have to cover themselves because they may be perceived as a bad person if they show their face, and certainly they can't speak out about what that's like for them, or say anything against the status quo. And that's scary. I'm so grateful that I was born here in America, where I was born. And I know there are other places where freedom is more readily available. But at least I don't live in some place like, Iraq or Iran. And I'm just really grateful for that. So, yeah, I'd love to speak to how important the voice is. Our voices are the means of communication that we have to express ourselves primarily. And certainly the voice is not the only way that we express ourselves. We also express ourselves through our body language, through the tone of our voice, the inflection. I know for myself, when I re-watch my videos, and I'll notice like certain tonation in my voice, and I'll understand what that means for myself. And when you get to know people in your life, you can pick up on those subtleties, right? It's an emotion that you sense behind the way that they're speaking. And maybe you can even tell when someone's not being authentic, because you know them so well, and they're like, they're not telling the truth. That's not quite the truth. They're holding back, right? And so I try and pay attention to that for myself. Am I holding back? Am I really speaking from a place of authenticity, or am I speaking from a place of fear? Honestly, that's what it is. And not wanting to disrupt the energy, not wanting to cause problems, not wanting to cause conflict. And certainly you have to make that choice, right? Whether or not the matter is so important to you that it's worth possibly coming against resistance and needing to resolve the disagreement through conflict. So our voices are extremely important. I work with little children that are on the autism spectrum with severe autism, and they do not have a voice. They're nonverbal and they cannot speak for themselves. And I'm sure that's extremely frustrating for these little ones. And I have no idea what that's like. I mean, certainly I have felt restricted in my voice or afraid to use my voice, but I've never had a period of time in my life where I was not able to speak. And yeah, I have a son who's 20, and up until around age 4.5, 5, he as well could not use his voice because he was deeply affected by autism. And I taught him sign language through use of videos. He was able to learn visually very well. And so I began the process by showing him videos of children signing, and then I started communicating with him through my hands, and signing to him, and was very consistent about it, very, very consistent. And eventually he picked up on it, and he started signing back to me, and wow, what a gift that was. Just to yeah, just to realize that he was able to communicate now. I'm sure that was so liberating for him. And eventually, because I changed his diet, I feel like primarily, and kept working with him every day on strengthening his communication skills, you know, within a short period of time, I would say about 6 months, he was able to actually start using his words to communicate, and it strengthened over time. And of course, there were other people involved, you know, speech therapists and occupational therapists and a naturopathic doctor, but he did recover from severe autism. And he was really, really struggling, very upset child, and not able to take in the sensory information that he was being bombarded with through life. And it was extremely challenging for him and very frustrating. And there were lots of tears and meltdowns and just screaming and upsettedness, lots of upsettedness, head banging, just terrible, terrible, terrible things you would never want to see your child go through. And recently I used my voice and I spoke out on social media about how it can help families that have children or a loved one with severe autism that may be nonverbal or just struggling with severe behaviors. You know, a lot of times kids on the autism spectrum have very, very severe gut issues, indigestion, constipation, bloating, malnutrition, you know, malabsorption issues. And I'm not a naturopath, but I do have experience because I've lived through it as a mother. And I've been working with children as an autism specialist for the past 7 years that have severe autism, and been able to see how diet changes, and heard from many, many, many other parents how diet changes and implementing alternative medicines, what we would call biomedical interventions, have greatly assisted these children in recovering their brain function and being able to enjoy life and have a much better quality of life. Whether or not they became verbal, but many of them did because of diet changes. And the primary one is getting rid of wheat. Hybridized wheat is a huge problem because we don't have the enzymes in our body to break down that wheat that's been genetically modified to be Roundup resistant. And dairy is a huge problem. It's mostly the casein, which is a milk protein, and that in a person with leaky gut can pass the blood-brain barrier and get into the brain and create a whole host of problems, not the least of which is an opiate effect that is, at least like a drug, it's like being on hallucinogens, and it will affect their brain function and not allow them to be able to be in this plane of reality, essentially. And you can see that in autistic children many times. It's like they're not here, you know, they're out of their body, they are not fully embodied, and they don't understand what's going on around them. They're not able to interact with people around them or engage with them, and it's really hard to witness. But there are always reasons why. We just have to investigate, and we have to try different interventions to see if something might work. And so I'm kind of going on a tangent about autism and diet right now, but it really relates to me using my voice to speak to some things that I've been seeing and have experienced in my life that I feel are extremely important. I know, getting back to, I was attacked actually on social media because I was told that I was a horrible person for wanting to help children recover from autism, because there was nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with autism. And I know there are many in the community that have very high functioning autism, and they embrace it, you know, and I don't think that that is bad. I think that if you are a high functioning autistic person and you have these gifts, and many of them are very, very gifted, many folks that experience autism, that have that diagnosis, are very, very gifted individuals and have so much to offer the collective in terms of being able to view the world from a different perspective and be neurodiverse, you know, and have different ways of perceiving, and that's beautiful. And I am so grateful. My 20-year-old son, honestly, he's one of the most brilliant people I've ever met. He is an amazing artist. He draws amazingly, and he is very creative. He's writing a novel, and he's learning 3 languages, and he reads all the time, and his memory is amazing. He can remember things from a long, long time ago. And, you know, yeah, it's just amazing. So I celebrate those that have those gifts. And I'm not trying to say that there's anything wrong with that at all. There isn't. Absolutely, the opposite is true. And if these people met me in person, were able to speak to me about it, I would share that with them, you know. So hopefully some of them will be able to see this video and understand more of what I'm speaking to. But really, it's about health. You know, it's really about health and being able to function, being a functional person, being able to take care of oneself, and to be a functional adult, to be able to thrive in the world as it is right now, by having friends and having a job, if that's what if someone wants to do, and earning money, and being able to communicate, and being able to be social and have relationships and take care of themselves, you know, and not have to rely on other people, because that's disabling and it's unempowering. And I want to empower people. I want to empower myself. I want to empower others. And a big part of using your own voice and being authentic is very empowering. I'm speaking about empowerment here. If you feel that you can use your voice, and when you do use your voice, even if you're scared to use your voice and say what you see and speak truth as you perceive it, that's so empowering. That's so phenomenally empowering. And when you don't use your voice, that steals your power. And so I feel very grateful that I'm able to use this medium, this camera, this my voice, and these 2 elements, my voice and this camera, to talk about the things I feel are important to me, and to express myself, and to not fear, you know, not fear criticism, not fear judgment, and to love myself through whatever acceptance or non-acceptance I receive back. And I have a lot of wisdom, you know, in a lot of different areas, and certainly humility is definitely key here. You know, I value humility. And I'm always learning. I'm always learning from others, and wanting to know how I can improve as a human being, and serve all my relations in a better way. So yeah, using our voice is extremely important. I don't want to be an echo. I'm not here to echo the collective unconscious. I'm here to be a voice. I'm here to be a leaderful person that pays attention, and that comes back to the humility of really being observant and being humble in that observation, and just continue to come back to self-realization and checking myself and holding myself accountable. for my thoughts and my feelings and what I say. And I'm not perfect, and maybe what I'm saying right now will change for me in years to come. I don't know, but I know for now, in this moment, my truth is that I feel it's important that I have a passion for helping people improve their health all across the spectrum, you know, little ones to elders, and those who have something that may be considered a disability or a chronic illness. And right now I just launched on Monday detox and parasite cleanse, and really it's a lifestyle cleanse. It's a lifestyle detox. It's changing habits that may no longer be serving a person, and tuning into their body and listening to their body and listening to what their body's trying to tell them. You know, many times we're so distracted and we numb ourselves out with social media and maybe just marijuana or alcohol or even food. You know, sugar, I feel very strongly, is a drug. Caffeine is a drug. And like I said, I do feel that dairy and meat products are drugs. They're full of hormones and chemicals and toxins from a polluted environment. And they get into our bloodstream and they disrupt a bunch of natural processes that don't create an atmosphere for optimal health, for sure. And the hybridized wheat, we should not be eating wheat. Ancient wheat, ancient grains, maybe, but certainly not anything close to what's out there right now. It's all been modified so it will grow more, bigger, stronger, so farmers make more money and they can sell more and profit more, you know. And so we have to be mindful of that this world has is focused on money making, not someone brought up to me, well, what are you selling? Well, I'm selling, what I'm selling is myself in service in a way. That's a horrible way to say it, I guess. But I'm offering myself in service for a requested exchange in order to bring conscious awareness so we can improve our health together. You know, I'm improving my health as others are improving their health that I'm helping. And that is golden, you know, and we're exchanging energy through currency or whatever, other services. But my intent is to help. It's not to harm. I'm not purposely creating some horrible genetically modified product, even though I know it would be detrimental to somebody, because I know that the profits will be big for me. You know, I'm here to serve, and we all need to know, we all need to make a living. We all need to support ourselves. And I think there's nothing wrong with folks like me, health coaches and wellness guides out there with the intent to serve and help, because there's a huge amount of disease. The obesity rates in America alone are astronomical. The autism rates go up every year. I mean, heart attacks and strokes and mental illness and just chronic disease everywhere you look. People are unhealthy. They're in an unhealthy state. And it's not going to get any better, folks, if we don't improve, if we don't have people who are in a leaderful way stepping forth and saying, I can help. Hello, I can help. I'm using my voice right now and I'm wanting to help you. I want to help. I'm here to help. I have a passion for helping. I've helped myself get through some really deep chronic illnesses that have come up in my life, and I've overcome them through diet change and lifestyle change and releasing addiction. I used to be addicted to ganja. I used to be addicted to alcohol. I used to be addicted to tobacco. I used to be addicted to sugar and dairy and wheat and meat and all of it. And I broke free from that, and I'm no longer a slave to those substances. Thank God. Hallelujah. And I want to help others get into that position as well, because it's so liberating, it's so freeing, it's so beautiful. And it brings me so much joy to see others unravel their ties and entanglement and addictions and get into a place of liberation where they can crave good, healthy food. You know, real food heals. these foods that I'm eating now, these fresh, organic, raw foods, fruits and vegetables, and sometimes I do cooked foods. I've been doing some lentils lately, some lentil stews with lots of grains and lots of Ayurvedic spices that are super good for digestion, and coconut. And yeah, it's just so nourishing. I'm so grateful for my life. I'm so grateful that I crave those foods. Today I did a workout at the gym. I worked my arms. And I did some running today, and what I was craving was blueberries. I mean, blueberries, people. I crave blueberries, not blueberry pie or blueberry cake or blueberry ice cream with all the sugar and dairy and wheat. I crave just fresh, wholesome, organic blueberries. You know, I mean, don't you want to be in that position where, you know, the worst thing you got to worry about is maybe you ate too much papaya, you know? I mean, my goodness. Yeah. I can't remember the last time I craved something like pizza or ice cream or, yeah, I grew up on the standard American diet, eating junk food from 7-Eleven whenever I could, and being fed horrible meats, pork chops and canned beans and green beans. And I remember eating, I mean, my mom, bless her soul, she didn't know any better, but it's like, we mostly ate out of cans and out of packages, and I don't eat like that now. I eat fresh fruit from the farmer's market, or some food that I find out in the jungle, you know, that I foraged. I just got limes off the tree and put them over some papaya that I got from the farmer's market, and I ate that here for my dinner. And yeah, I hardly ever have packaged food. Maybe like a couple times a week, if that. And it's so liberating. And I'm so grateful that I'm in the position that I am. And I have such a desire to help others liberate themselves from these forms of slavery and free their voice and be authentic and not be an echo of the collective and do all the things that everyone else is doing and not conform and do barbecues on the weekend and drink beer and smoke ganja, you know, on your day off. It's like, get fit, desire running. I love running. I love getting out there and getting my heart rate up and getting my blood pumping. It's so good. It's so good. It feels so amazing. You know, you get those endorphins going, you get this euphoric state. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I want that for everyone. So if you'd like to join the detox, it is open until winter solstice, which is December 21st. And then I'll be traveling to Oregon to see my family. But I'll be tuning in every day. There's a private Facebook group that I've set up. We're going to meet every week and have a group chat and revisit our goals and intentions. You're welcome to ask me questions through email about your health or your diet, your goals, herbs. I'm an herbalist. Yeah, I can give advice about detoxing from all these substances that I just spoke to, and also working on cleansing yourself of parasites. And we all have them, especially if you eat meat and dairy. And if you have animals, you most likely have parasites from your dogs or your cats. Yeah, so I would love to help you. Again, the detox is open until the 21st. Please reach out to me and send me an email or leave a comment here underneath this video, and I will be sure to get back to you to let you know the details of this detox portal and see how I can assist you in this time. And just want to send you so much aloha from the big island of Hawaii. Aloha.